Okay, so in this session, what we're going to be covering is an introduction to the campaign management features of Apptivo. And of course, some of you might have never heard of Apptivo at all. So we'll start off and just talk a little bit about what is Apptivo, what is the campaign management feature. Then specifically in Apptivo, there's a lot of different features, and specifically there's actually a lot of features directly related to email. So I want to take a quick moment and talk about what is campaign management in Apptivo as compared to the rest of the typical day-to-day email features that we have available. And then when we're talking about campaign management, what are the key features involved? What do we need to do to get a campaign set up? And then at the end, we'll actually hop into the application. We'll go create a quick campaign, show you the email template editor, go send out a quick little campaign, and then go check out the analytical tracking and such like that. So let's go ahead and start off with what is Apptivo, what is our campaign management app. So Apptivo is this integrated suite of many different business applications. So we've got everything from CRM, financials, project management, supply chain, pretty much everything that your business needs. But specifically, there's a couple applications inside of here to support marketing, and one of which is the Campaigns app, which is relatively new to Apptivo. So we've supported, doing bulk emailing and such for quite some time out of the typical CRM, because marketing is very tightly tied up with sales in the CRM side typically. So Apptivo, we've kind of built right on top of that existing functionality, but we brought in more capabilities to really support full marketing automation. So about the platform, basically as far as getting to Apptivo, it's a cloud-based system. Just as long as you have an internet connection, you can go and log in. So some of the applications have native mobile apps like the CRM. So for example, being able to check out a contact who's part of a campaign and seeing the email history with them and everything like that. There's a native mobile app for iOS and Android on that side. And then as far as accessing the campaigns themselves or any other one of the Apptivo apps, we have a fully responsive design. So bring up your mobile device, just go to the web, and it will expand to fit whatever size screen that you might have. But let's talk a little bit about campaigns versus standard emails, because this is key. So for quite some time, Apptivo has allowed you to go and grab a contact or a lead and send an email. And we can form email templates. These are nice HTML email templates, full flexibility, and you can personalize them. So when I'm building a template, I can go include variables where I can personalize it with hi first name or put their business name or any other field data that you store in Apptivo can be personalized in these emails. The standard email feature even includes bulk emailing capability. So you can go and target a list of contacts based on some criteria, like if I know contacts who have purchased service type X in the last 6 months from me, and then go send them out an email, and all of them will receive a personalized copy of it. Very much that is what some campaign management solutions need. So a lot of you coming in today might be looking for campaign management, and actually this flow right here will serve your needs perfectly. Our general recommendation is if you don't need to go to the Campaigns app, definitely just take use of the built-in features. You can use it for up to 50 different people. And this is really more for an email that you would send personally from yourself, but you would just want the system to, help you out and send a bunch of them on your behalf. So let's say you attend a trade show and then right afterwards you met 15 new contacts and you just want to send them a general follow-up, say it was nice to meet them, and then maybe try to set up a call for next time. So in that case, maybe it makes sense to go and target those 15 contacts based on the trade show that they came from, and then go send out an email template. It just makes it easier than calling up or emailing them all individually yourself. That's a very good example of a standard email. But then let's take something a little bit more large scale. Like let's say you want to send out a monthly newsletter to your database of 16,000 contacts, or you went to a trade show, but this is a trade show that your company invested a ton in, and you actually picked up 1,300 new leads, and you want to put them all onto a campaign to continually send them out email messages. So this is more of kind of the large scale marketing style emails that are a little less impersonal. And that's what Apptivo's campaign management is designed for, where here we'll include the unsubscribe functionality. You can form lists with a little bit more complexity. We'll give you analytical tracking. And there's also a completely different email infrastructure that handles all the different spam controls and such for you. Whereas if you're sending a bunch of emails through this method, you are at risk for making your domain look like it's a spamming address. So in this case, we've gone through the whole whitelisting procedures. We have this entire infrastructure that's specifically dedicated for sending large marketing emails. Okay, so that's kind of the quick little breakdown of the two different email types inside of Apptivo. And we'll show you a little bit of that once we hop into the demo, but we're really going to focus in on just the campaigns piece for today. So when talking about campaigns, what are the actual features involved? So what you have is it's not even a campaigns feature, but the core of the whole system is the contact data. So these CRM applications that help track all your leads, where I can go import a spreadsheet of contacts that I've had, I can build them up over time, all the people my sales team is adding into the system, they all become part of your contact data. And I say contact data because there's actually a few different apps inside of Apptivo that hold that. So we have a targets app for the people who you really have no relationship with. Then there's leads, which is, okay, somebody the sales team is working on, but still you don't really have a true relationship going. And then you've got your existing customers and contacts sitting inside of the database and the people who are actively in your sales pipeline. So although the data is stored in many different locations, the contact data itself, you'll be able to fully control what fields you can store inside of there. And when you're bringing up a contact, you'll be able to check out their whole history. So we'll show you like every email campaign that has ever been sent to them, any notes that you've added onto that contact itself, and plus any other interactions from the rest of the organization. So if you are one of the companies who's looking to add campaigns onto some other Apptivo apps, the contact data that you're using in campaigns can even show like an invoice history, a help desk history, shows what projects they're involved in, if they have any outstanding quotes. Basically, all the information connects back to this contact data. So that's kind of the heart of the whole system. And then what you'll do is when I'm talking about building out the campaign, I've got to select from a list of people in my contact data. So that's where the target list feature comes into play. And what it allows you to do is I can go throughout each one of my apps that has contact information in it, and I can go create multiple different lists. So I can create like one general newsletter list where it basically include everybody. Then maybe you'll have like a list for that one specific event that you went to. Or potentially you've purchased a large list of leads from a source, a new campaign that you're working on, and you would like to just put everybody who's going to be purchased from that list into one single target list. So the idea is you can have many different target lists, and then you can go about, and adding people to target lists is really easy. So I can just go into any one of the contacts apps, or the leads apps. I can search based on whatever criteria I want, and then there's a simple option to just bulk add them all into a target list. And of course, one person can be added into many different target lists, so they could be receiving the monthly newsletter and be receiving some special one-off campaign, plus be receiving like maybe your monthly offers because they're a special customer. So all that's possible. You just have many different lists, but all it's doing is linking your contact data together. And then you have the campaigns themselves. So once you've got your contact data and they're formed into lists, now it comes down to, well, if I've got a list of newsletter contacts, I have to form every month. I'm gonna go build out my newsletter content. I'm gonna choose which target lists I want, if not just one. Then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna blast out that email and just track all the responses and click-throughs and everything like that. So that's what the campaign management is, builds on at the end, and that's where most of the work is gonna be involved. So what we'll do when we're running through and setting this up is I'll show you a little bit of the contact data, how it's stored. I will go show you that basic email feature because it's basically part of the process of selecting and adding them to a target list. It's the same process of selecting people and just sending them a one-off email. So I'll show you the difference between just firing off the email versus adding them into a target list for the campaign. And then once we have a target list, I'll go show you how to build a campaign. I'll show you the email template editor so we can go check that out. And then I'll go add a target list to a campaign. We'll quickly blast it out just so you can see like the analytics and such. But I'm not going to dive too far into the details. Just kind of want to get everybody familiar and give you what you need to know to get started yourself. All right, so let's switch gears. We're going to hop into the application and go show you around. Okay, so inside of here, I'm logged into Apptivo. Now, I've got all my applications across the top of the page. So I've got customers, opportunities, projects, invoices. Now, based on your role in the organization, you might want to see a different set of applications present right here. So each user, they will be able to customize exactly what shows up right here. So for example, when I log in, maybe I want to make campaigns present right up there because I'm on the marketing team. So I'll go change my preferences just for the sake of this demonstration, where I can just come in and customize home. And you'll see that there's two key applications underneath marketing, which are targets and campaigns. So let's just go add both of those so they're readily accessible. And then we have our customers are one type, but basically the three different types of contact data are customers, leads, and contacts. So what we'll do is we'll get our navigation set up for pretty much like a marketing dashboard type view. So now what we have is we have our three apps that control the contact data. So we can go check out history, we can add new contacts, or we can modify our target list from there. Targets is where we're going to create the list themselves, and then campaigns is where we'll actually configure the emails and go blast out the emails to different people. So let's go ahead, let's just go bring up like our contact database. kind of the core of everything is this is just a list of people. Because remember, you could target people or you could target organizations, depending on how I go about constructing my target list out of the Apptivo data. So in this demo account, I just have like 1,100 contacts loaded in here. I've got some different attributes present, so we'll just go bring one up. I'll show you the kind of information. There's not too much inside of here, but you'll see I've got some addresses. I can see who it's assigned to, what customer they work for. And then I have all my emails just set to Minor Tech Solutions, just because that's a domain, so I can go send out test emails without us fearing actually sending them to real people. Other than that, not too much information to split apart here. The idea is that when you create a contact in Apptivo, you'll be able to choose exactly what information you track about each contact or each lead. So for example, when I go look at my customer database, which in this example, this is like a photography company who does lots of school photo shoots and such. So in their customer database, you'll see a lot of schools and things. And when I go bring up one of these, they'll have various different types of information. So here I've done a little bit of customization to the fields where I'm tracking like the type of school and the number of classrooms they have, what grades are available, and then any other sort of information. So based on what's selected here, I could go and I could filter it. So let's just say I wanted to find all my schools or all my customers located in Hayward, but specifically I want everybody who's located in Hayward who is an organization type of a school. And I want to create a Hayward schools list. Maybe that's what I want to do. Or maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a few searches and I'm going to create a Bay Area list. So I'll go search for Hayward, Fremont, San Jose, and a few of the other cities around in that area. So the way to do that is as long as I have a field inside of this application, it's pretty simple to hop into here. Every field is available and searchable, so I can come and type in Hayward right there to filter my list by Hayward. And additionally, sorry, I should have shown you, I wanted to filter also by the org type school, just in case. So you can do as many filters as you want when bringing down and selecting your criteria. So we're doing that, and then we were doing address of Hayward. Okay, perfect. So we have that set up. Now I've got a list of just 76 schools located in Hayward, and that's great. So one thing is you could just save this list for later on. So the target list is a little bit more permanent, but what I can do is I can just quickly create this as a view. I can call it my Hayward schools. So what this does is it saves the search criteria that I've set up, meaning now if I come back, it saves a little link right there. If I click Hayward schools again, it will rerun the search and show me all schools who are currently located in Hayward. But then once you have a list of data, there's a couple things that you can do with it. So what I can actually do is click on all of these contacts. So I could grab either all 76 or just the first 50. And then you'll see I've got bulk actions available. So you'll notice that there is an email option here, but it's grayed out. And that's because I selected more than 50 records. Versus if I just select the first 50 or anything less than 50, I actually get a bulk email option available. So this is that standard email feature we were talking about, where of course I don't have any emails on these records, which of course would be required, so I can go find contacts. But then you can actually store email templates inside of these apps, and they can be personalized with any sort of details. So inside of each other application, there's already an email template system. It's a standard email feature. You can come in here, you can say hi first name, you can put in any sort of attribute that's stored there. So you'll see my email templates, even those custom fields I've generated about this record, I could include it within a standard email template. Now the same exact thing is going to apply to our campaign email templates for the full mass emails, but I'm going to show you how the campaigns email templates, they have a nice visual builder. Yes, the standard emails are HTML supported, so if I had like bullet points in here, you'll see that you could come in and you could upload an HTML email, put images, whatever you want inside of here, but it's just not designed to be like a simple builder. This is meant for more standardized, personalized emails. But as you saw, the other option I could have done is add them into a target list. So if I go back to my previous list, let's go bring up that list of customers, I could grab them and I could select as many as I want. So in this case, I could select more than one page, and then you see the add to target list option. So just in general, we'll go across all of our apps. We'll get the data organized ahead of time. You can import via spreadsheets, no problem. And then you'll see that I can grab them all and I can add them into a list. So I could call these all of my school admins if I really wanted to. Okay, so you'd go through that effort, and that's how you start to build the list. But one thing I didn't show you is, well, how do I create that list in the first place? And that's what we'll do through the Targets app. So before I'm actually able to come in here and bulk add them in, I would have to head on over to the targets application and create that list. That's just something I had done already before this call. So the targets app is pretty basic. What you'll do is you'll come in here, first time, you just hit create. You'll notice the target list itself has very little information. Really, the key information is you just give it a quick little name that you can recognize internally, and then you would go and just add all the different targets to it. So let's just say that this is like my new school contacts. So I'll go put that in there. And right when I create it, you'll see it's just kind of a summary. So it tells me I've got no targets, no contacts. Basically, nobody is a part of this target list yet. But it shows you the different types of people who can become part of this contact data that we discussed in the beginning. So a target is basically they don't exist anywhere in the system except right here. So you can come in, you can add them there. For the employees, yes, you can market to employees, although this is a little bit rare, but it means you can use campaigns to send like internal notifications if you're at a larger corporation. And then you have your most common ones, which are leads, contacts, and customers. So basically what you're just doing here is just saying that if we are sending an email out, I would like to send it to their business emails or their home emails. So that way I could go and send out a list to everybody's like, hey, public school email that I have available, or maybe if I have everybody's personal Gmail and Yahoo addresses, instead I could go and send to that. So you'll do that kind of basic configuration, but then what you'll have is these tabs across the top. So I could come in and I could go search and add a target right from here, but this is like, okay, it's really good for just adding one or two, but that's if you know exactly who you want to add. The previous method we showed is a little bit better because I was able to search based on whatever criteria I wanted and then go and just add them in bulk. So what we recommend doing is create your target list inside of here, go select your defaults, but then go back to one of the other applications like contacts, and then we'll go search and add a bunch of contacts to that target list. So let's just go, let's run a simple search here. Let's see. Yeah, I guess let's just pick on the same group. So let's just say Hayward contacts and see if we've got anybody in there. Okay, perfect. So we have 81 contacts inside of Hayward. Let's just grab them all and we will add them to our new school admins target list, or new school contacts. Okay, perfect. So you give this a minute to process. It'll go and it will update that target list for us. And now we basically have a list of people ready. So we could go form a couple lists if we want, but once we've got all the lists of people, we're ready to go build out that campaign. So I'm switching on over into the campaigns app. This is where all the magic happens. And once again, like the campaign, when you're coming in and creating a new campaign, it's pretty simple and straightforward. So we're just going to talk about the full campaigns, which are a little bit more planning. A quick campaign is like kind of an on-the-fly one. So it's even more in the middle between those personalized bulk emails I showed you and the mass emails. It's basically if you wanted to do a mass email that's a little bit more ad hoc, but then you still want the unsubscribe type features present inside of it. So I would come in and I would create a campaign. And let's just say this is my Hayward school notice. Maybe this is like a one-off notice, because sometimes you'll have like newsletters which are recurring, and then sometimes like, yeah, I got to send a one-time notice to everybody in this list, and it's got to be an official email and all that because I have to inform them of some change to my services. So in that case, you'll come down and I'll see I can select an email template and a from address. But we haven't really configured anything around this area quite yet. So I've got June newsletter and August newsletter. We could pick one for right now, but I'm going to come back to it. And then the from address, which you'll see I've only configured this Lori Mitch 08 at Outlook. There's a method for you to configure any number of emails you want. So I can set a common address for marketing at SnapTime if I would like. So that's just something you do over in the Teams app, which I'll show you real quick. If you want to form an email that's not actually individually owned by somebody, you just need to create a team. So I actually already had one called marketing right here. And you just need to assign an email ID to that team. So if I put marketing at SnapTime, then the way you can control who's allowed to send from it is you simply add people to the team. So if I click on marketing, you'll see Lori's already a member of it. So now if I go back into my campaigns and I try to create a campaign, I'll be able to select the from address as from Lori or from marketing. Oops, gotta refresh the page, I guess. Or maybe I have to re-add her to the team since I just added the email. Yeah, I think I actually have to log off and log on, but we're not going to bury time on that one. So the flow is you add a team, add the email, add yourself, and then log off once and log back in. And your email will appear here. Then the other step, which we hadn't done yet, is the email template. So before we go and actually launch a campaign, we have to form what this email message is going to be. And that's controlled through the settings area. So just like the other apps, email templates are stored in the settings. But you'll see in here, there's a concept of email templates, but also email themes. And this is pretty cool. So the email theme is what allows you to say you have like a standard template for any one-time notices and a standard template for every newsletter that you send out or any special offers. So all of these just come built in by default. You'll have a bunch of sample templates that we've constructed for you. You can take any one of them and just make a copy and start to do your own customizations. So that way you can take our base newsletter, copy it, create your own customized version of it. And then the idea is every time you'll come in, because you're going to have different content between June and August and July and all that. So when I come in, I can create either a simple template, which is what we saw elsewhere. So you just click New Template, you get this view, same as all the other applications. But when you click on that Advanced Template, this is what's unique to the campaign management. So clicking on here, you'll see all the different templates available. So I could go and select from like one of my theme groups. Then I can come down and find which one I want. So maybe this is the message template I want to use. And here's our designer that we can utilize. So I'd come through, I'd build it out. So let's just say this is my Hayward security notice. Of course, I got to spell Hayward correctly. And I could say just update about security in the Hayward area. Okay, but then right here is where you'd start to take the next steps of, I type in all the general messages, and sometimes you don't want to personalize it. But for example, here, you'll see that the template actually includes a spot to say like, oh, welcome to subscriber, or meaning their name. So what I can do is I can edit any one of these, and this is like a drag and drop editor. So wherever you want to include something that's personalized, we can include any field. So just like the other apps, like let's say if we had a custom field stored in the customers, remember all those school details and such? I can actually come into my email templates within campaigns, and I can take a custom field off of their record and embed it right here. So this could be as simple as just saying, okay, hi, first name, or I could come in and I could put any other custom field inside of there. So that way in the template builder, you just see that we'll put like the variable name, but we can come through, we can make any edits we want. You'll see there's basic rich text capabilities, so you can do bold text, you can delete stuff. And then over on the right, you'll see that you have this palette. So you can create your own sections, you can add images and such in here, and then of course just you can use your own HTML. So there is a full source code editor. If you want to upload your existing templates and just modify from there, you're welcome to do so. So we go through this, we basically get everything looking how we want. We've got a nice email template, and then let's go save that away. Of course, ours doesn't have too much in there, but that's okay for this example. And basically at this point, we're ready to go. So we'll go back, let's finish the creation of that campaign, and then let's show you how to blast it out to wrap this up. So this was our Hayward security notice. And now we have an email template. So we're going to send out that email template. The description and stuff, this is just for your own information. So if you run a ton of campaigns, you can customize these fields and add like categorization and such to make them easily chopped apart. And then my from address, which of course I need to go relog in. So I get marketing at SnapTime, but we'll just create this for right now. Okay, so basically the campaign's created. The only last step is to add our target list and launch it out. So this part, we've basically done all the work. So it's pretty simple. All we do is come and hit add target list. So on a campaign, you can add one or many target lists. So in this case, we would probably just be adding that one. We called it new school contacts. Probably should have called it like Hayward security notice. So we'll just add that one. We can see it's list 81. So before we add it, we'll be able to see that it's 81 people total, and it's only made up of contacts. So see like the breakdown of different record types in each list before you add it. So that way you know like, does my template include the proper variables for all the different types of people I'm including? So I just add that target list. One thing is when you hop back onto the overview, so it doesn't show anything yet, but as soon as we take the next step, notice there's this launch history place. So a campaign can be launched many times. Launching is the action of actually blasting out all the email. So once you have a list of people on there, it's very, very simple. We just hit this launch button and it's going to go. So in that case, if I hit launch right here, it'll take a moment and the system will initiate the delivery of all these emails. And it does take a little bit of time, but as long as you're talking like just a few, it'll go out in real time. So if we sit here and just refresh this page for a few minutes, we'll start to see the emails will fill up. Then it will start to deliver them outward. And what happens is you do have open and click rate tracking as well. So as the emails start to go out, anybody who opens up the email in their client, it would show that right here. And then as people are actually clicking on any hyperlink, we automatically include click tracking on any link that you put in, and then it would show it there, along with who has unsubscribed and such. So we'll give this another minute. I don't want to make people wait too long. It usually takes a minute or two, but it can depend on the current load of the servers and everything like that. But yep, you start seeing emails within definitely about 5 minutes. But back on the homepage, you'll just see when you've launched it, and it will tell you how many emails have been sent out. So the one little note here is you'll notice free emails versus purchased emails. The way that the pricing works in Apptivo campaigns is built into your standard plans at $10 and $25. You get a certain number of emails per month for each user license you have. So for each user license you have on the $10 plan, you'll get 2,000 free emails per month. And you do have the ability to come in and purchase additional emails on a month-by-month basis, and you can purchase them in $5 increments, which is blocks of 1,000 emails. Okay, so let's just see. Perfect. So now we can start to see that the emails are spooled up. None of them have actually been delivered out yet. But what I wanted to show you is once the dashboard starts showing numbers, you'll notice that I can click on any one of those elements, and it will give me the breakdown. So here I can see the list of 81 people who have had their email queued up. And as it starts delivering and as they start clicking, so here we can see 55 have been delivered outward, you'll always be able to filter down. So notice actually between me loading that and me clicking it shot out another 7 emails. So it's going through, it's processing. Things will update in pretty much real time as they go. So you'll see my campaign's already completed. It was a nice and small 81. And you'll be able to track everything from within here. And then what you'll see is if I go bring up like any individual contact, the last little component is like, yeah, the campaigns will update your contacts. So if I come down here, there's a field called last contacted, which I could see it on, or I'd be able to come in and we could check out any sent emails. So every contact has an email tab, and your campaign emails will appear here, right next to any emails that you had manually sent yourself. Okay, so that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for today's session. Hope you all found it to be useful. And if you'd like any further information, please either give us a contact on our support team right here, or visit our website at apptivo.com. Thanks, and we'll catch you next time.